Okay, fifth grade. So I'm going to have two different videos for you guys. The first one is going to be your notes, and the second one is going to be the assignment that you're going to do after you take the notes. So the first video is going to be for classifying rational numbers. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to pause this, and when you pause it, I want you to take these notes real quick. And then after you take the notes, then we'll go over these, okay? So pause the video, take the notes, draw the picture, and then we're going to go over this. Okay, so you should have paused the video, taken the notes, written all of the stuff down that you needed, and now we're going to go over it, okay? So we're going to be classifying rational numbers in this chapter. I'm hoping to finish the chapter before the break, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It depends on how well we do with rational numbers. There is a lot of division and there's a lot of stuff that we need to learn about rational numbers before we can continue. So, rational numbers. So, we're actually going to start from the bottom and then we're going to work our way up. Okay. So, I like to color code everything. So, I've getting my markers. Okay. So, the first thing we're going to look at are natural numbers. We're going to look at that first. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at are natural numbers. So natural numbers are your counting numbers that start at 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up. Basically, numbers, if you were to keep counting and you had a bunch of fingers, you could just keep counting. Those are going to be your natural numbers. This is like a different take on a Venn diagram. So what you'll see here is you see this little kind of like oval looking shape. These are going to have our natural numbers in here. So basically how we read this Venn diagram is if a number is located here, then it's also going to be a whole number. It's also going to be an integer, and it's also going to be a rational number. So that's kind of how we put these numbers in this Venn diagram to show if a number is considered a rational number. And so we're going to just continue and work our way up. So remember, natural numbers are counting numbers that start at 1. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way on. Then the next one we have are whole numbers. Well, you guys know that whole numbers are similar to natural numbers, except for whole numbers include 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. Okay, so for example, it would include 0. So if I wanted to put 0 on my Venn diagram to show where I would put it, where would I put this in my Venn diagram to show 0? Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at. Now, I wouldn't put 0 in natural numbers because natural numbers does not include 0. Okay, so I know that 0 is considered a whole number, so I can put it here, and 0 is also an integer that I can put here. Okay, so these are just examples of where I could put these numbers based on the definition. The next one we have integers. And we know about integers. Integers are whole numbers and their opposites. So it's going to include these whole numbers here, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And it's going to include their opposites. So, so it could be negative and positive whole numbers. Okay. So we already know what those are. Then we're looking at rational numbers. Now, rational numbers is something new. Rational number is any number that can be written as a fraction. For example, P over Q. So P and Q, this is supposed to say and. P and Q can be integers. Okay, so it can be any of these numbers written as a fraction, but Q cannot equal 0. Okay, and then one thing you're going to know is that rational numbers, all terminating and repeating decimals, are also considered rational numbers. So basically, rational numbers is almost any number. Later on, when you go into your math, as you progress into your math, you're going to learn about irrational numbers, but that won't come until later. So right now, we have rational numbers, integers, whole numbers, and natural numbers. So those are the things we're going to look at. Okay, so if I wanted to classify a number, let's say I chose -6. Okay, so based on these definitions here, can I include -6 in a natural number? I cannot, because natural numbers, again, are counting numbers that start at 1. So I can't put -6 in a natural number. It won't go there. And you can think of this as like an onion. So if this is that middle core of the onion, it's going to include all of these other layers as well. Okay? So if I put a number here, that means that it's going to work for whole numbers. That means it's going to work as an integer. That means it's going to work as a rational number. So think of -6. So can I put -6 here? No. Can I put -6 in my whole numbers? No. So where can I put -6? I can put -6 in integers. Okay. And I can also write -6 in rational numbers, because -6, I can write that as a fraction. For example, -6 can be written as -6 over 1. Okay. If I looked at the number 4, okay, so where could I put 4 in this Venn diagram? Well, 4 is a natural number, so 4 can go here. 4 is also a whole number, so I can put 4 here. 4 is also considered an integer because it includes whole numbers. And 4 can be a rational number because I can write 4 as a fraction. For example, 4 is the same as 4 over 1. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing today. All right.